Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where my guest and I play some movie roulette and randomly select something from my enormous, obnoxious, very varied movie watch list. And, hopefully you have a new movie to go check out as well. And joining me is the fearless leader here at the SPDM Crew. It is Mike Hilty.
I figured out pretty quick that I didn't realize how to spell days for this, so I tried looking for the wrong movie for longer than I'm proud to admit.
Well, there you go. And what Mike is referencing is Alice's circus days, and not as the days she spent at the circus. Apparently, she was in some kind of daze, and I felt like I was too while we watched this little short film. And giving you the very brief background, released April 18th, 1927. This is from Walt Disney, who created the Alice comedies, which was a whole series of comedies with
There's
animation
50.
behind.
There's 57 of these. Are you kidding
Yep.
me?
And this was the first time Lois Hardwick portrayed Alice, the young girl who was put into the film along with all of our animated friends. And here, Alice and Julius are getting ready for their big performance at the circus while many of the other acts are being showcased. They are acrobats, with Julius balancing on a tightrope holding several stacked chairs, and Alice sitting atop the topmost chair. When Julius lights a cigar, he accidentally throws the match onto the rope, burning it and sending them clattering to the ground. That sounds like a plot synopsis and not a plot summary instead of a plot synopsis. Because
Agreed.
this film is a grand total of 7 minutes. But Mike, what are your general thoughts on Alice's Circus Days?
To me, this is the best anti-smoking ad that I think could the 20s could have come up with.
There you
That,
go.
hey, if you want to become a circus performer, don't smoke cigars, and certainly don't do it when you're in the middle of a tightrope act. Uh, I mean, I thought the animation was pretty solid. Like, I was not expecting that for this to be animated with like a live action girl in it. So I was pleasantly surprised about that, and I got to give it credit. Like, it looked pretty good for
Mhm.
like today. That would probably be at max, probably like YouTube quality, but it's still pretty good and pretty effective for what it needed to do.
Well, and when you have Alice projected in here, she looks pretty like authentic in the space.
Mhm.
And then I love the wide shot of her on top of the chair. It's obviously a little animated version of her on top of the chair and then
Mhm.
cutting back and forth. This is like the animation and the character design are simple but effective, and
Mhm.
maybe some of them might be slightly problematic. But
Yeah. That's Walt
it's
Disney in the 20s,
1920.
30s, and or 20s to probably say what, the 50s, that Walt Disney had some problematic stuff.
Well, and this film is simple. Right off the bat, it shows this wild, bonkers circus life and it brings that to life. The tricky thing is, like, everything looks so herky jerky, going to one space to the next and going back to the same space, back and forth. And after a while, it's just like this isn't as like it's fun, but it's not as fun as you might think it might be.
Oh no,
Um,
absolutely not. It's very repetitive in a lot of
yes.
ways, and it's probably because from an animation standpoint, it's just let's just go back and forth, and just call it a day
Mhm.
with that. Um, I think this movie could have been half the length, and it still would have been just as effective.
Well, yeah, because they basically just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for a while. And yet it's interesting because it's like how much substance of anything is in this. It's just about, Alice showing up to do her trick and she does it well and she gets rewarded and all those things. I like some of the character designs. Julius is a lot of fun.
The clowns creeped me out in this, and granted, clowns usually do creep me out,
Creepy clowns.
but the way that the clowns, they flip their heads and they, do weird things with their mouths. Like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Like, what kind of nightmare fuel is this, Walt Disney?
He was preparing the children of America for the future that they had. Um, this is kind of, it's a fun, harmless little flick.
Mhm.
It has some interesting little gags with Alice being on top of those chairs and stuff like that. Um, but overall, it's pretty forgettable. It is very repetitive. It probably could have been trimmed down even more,
Oh
but
yeah.
like it was an interesting experience going back and checking it out. And a whole bunch of the other ones are on my watch list too. So you never know when they might show up.
I might get a bunch of these, but I cannot believe so this is like late in the run. Like Lois Hardwick shows up in 48 through 57 of these, which
Hmm.
my God, like how many of these like, like one of these is called Alice Cans the Cannibals.
Alice takes on cannibals. You heard it here first.
Um yeah, could you just rig the timer or rig the number generator so I get that one because I'm curious about that one.
You should totally pick it for the retrospective 1 month.
Just watch a bunch of these and just
Literally two of them. You pick
just
one, I pick one. You pick cannibals, I pick one of the most other unhinged titles you could possibly find and just go to town.
yeah, there's a lot of weird ones here and I one thing I would be curious to see is I would want to see if it's like similar animation, just like different background for a
Mhm.
lot of these because that's something that
I'm
Disney did
imagining it probably is.
because that's something that Disney did a lot during this time is that similar animation sequence, just different color palette and different drawn characters. That's it.
I can guarantee you there's probably some of the same
Oh yeah, yeah, herky
animated
jerky. Yeah.
movements that they're just bringing back in. But
Hmm.
yeah, this is short, obviously a short film, a little bit of film to watch. And, I'm impressed by it. I'm
Yeah,
impressed by it a lot more than I am like, wow, I had such a great time. I'm like, oh, that was on and wasn't so bad. And some impressive effects and animation for sure, especially at this point. But Mike, do you have any other thoughts on Alice's Circus Days?
I'm pretty sure we talked about this more than or for longer than the actual length of the movie. So no, I don't.
We will see how long this episode is, and all of you know already because you're looking at wherever you're listening to your podcast. But
Mhm.
Mike, thank you as always for coming on and chatting movies with me.
Of course, happy to do it. Looking forward to whatever movie that the random number generator gives me.
The random number generator is king. It controls it all. But
Mhm.
thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your favorite animated short film? Head Make sure to like or follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. If you want to become part of the SPDM crew as a guest on a show like this, or starting your own podcast, reach out because we have plenty of great shows with a lot of great hosts and everything, and something for basically anybody. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. Most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.